Hi everyone, this is Rebecca from Chemknits and I'm here today with a fun dyeing video. Today's video is sponsored by Tanya and I am going to dye some 100% wool roving using some Rit dyes. We mixed the dye solutions in the previous episode, Dyepot Weekly number 10, where we used 45 mils of the Rit Dye and then diluted it with water in one of these bottles until the bottle was full. And so today I plan to do some low immersion dyeing using the dye that's left over from the last video and this roving. So I pre-soaked the roving in a water and vinegar solution. So there were about 10 cups of water and a half cup of vinegar was the proportion. So I'm going to add that roving and then add some of the rinse water until, all right, the roving is all mostly submerged, but it's at a very low level, and now I'm going to turn on the heat. And so we want to bring this up to just below a boil. This is my new 8-quart pot that sponsors like Tanya and other Kickstarter backers helped me purchase. So thank you so much. We are starting to bubble, so I am going to reduce the heat to low. We do not want to felt the fibers at all. And I'm not really sure what to expect. I don't know if we're going to expect the dye to exhaust or what. So I think I'm just going to start adding the different dyes. Oops. All right, there's our purple. Well, I guess I don't want to melt my squeeze bottles. Uh-oh. Ha! Okay. Let's add I think this is the navy. I'm not sure if that's the navy or the gray. Maybe we'll find out in a second. This one gives us an obvious color difference. I cannot tell. Alright, I think that is the navy maybe. So I'm curious how much these colors will spread out. You know, how much they'll strike where I've added them. Oh, that's kind of a cool little speckly kind of thing. All right. I do have a handy spoon. Okay, so we've got a lot of navy right there. It's a little bit of pink. Ah, there's our purple and our gray. All right, and I am going to let this all sit and come back in about 10 minutes and show you what we've got. After 10 minutes, there aren't a lot of visible changes to the dye spreading. I am very curious. Okay, there is a lot of color in there. Oh yeah, there's tons. Oops. I may have added some navy. All right, I may have accidentally mixed them a bit, but I have this cool fish turner that I got specifically for creating these dyeing videos to help some of these colors come through a bit. Ooh, that's cool. Is there anything down? Alright, I don't want to agitate this too much, but I did want to help some of these colors spread a bit. It's kind of cool to see how they change with some heat. And yeah, I mean, again, I don't know if we're going to expect the colors to clear or just decide that we like the color the way it is and then remove the fiber. But I am going to let this go, I think, another 15 minutes and then check back in. It has been a total of 25 minutes since we first added the dye. And whoa, this looks really cool. Yeah, I think we have a lot of navy, excuse me, and that's spreading out in the center, but also still some of the magenta and purple. So I'm really excited to see these colors. Okay, that's clear. Huh. Okay, that is nowhere near clear. That is still some dye. Alright, and there's a lot of dye in that center area too. Yeah, I don't know quite what to expect here. I've started washing some of the yarns from the previous episode, and whoa, there is a lot of dye that needs to be washed out. So I'm getting a little nervous about washing this roving, but I think that we should still end up with something really awesome. It's now been a total of 40 minutes since we first added the dye, and I just turned off the heat. I want to let this cool in the water so we can absorb as much of the dye as possible. There's still a lot of dye everywhere, but I expect there to be a lot of dye and that we're going to need to rinse a lot of dye out. But first, let's let this cool completely and then we will start washing. It has been almost 2 hours since we started letting this cool. And we're still a little warm, but we are much above room temperature. So I'm now going to remove, whoa, the roving. And that was pretty cool. Alright, I removed it into this pan where I'm going to let it finish cooling so that way I can start washing it. And this dye bath is far from clear. Like, there's just so much dye in here. But I am going to wash this out as well. Time to rinse out the excess dye from Tanya's roving. I'm using some Dawn dish soap in the rinse water. And now I am going to carefully add our cooled off roving. Squeeze out some of the dye in that pan and add it to the wash water. So this is some of what came out. Alright. So far, so good. I don't want to agitate this too much, but I'm going to let it soak in this water for a little bit. I'm just kind of gently squeezing. Yeah, that's a lot of dye. But hopefully this will be similar to the 100% wool yarn in that the excess dye comes out pretty quickly. I am going to keep rinsing this gorgeous roving until the water runs clear, and I will show you what it looks like when we get there. Well, this is promising. I'm just kind of patting it up, some of the dye come out. But already this is way clearer than when I did any of the acrylic blends. I will keep rinsing it until the water runs clear, but we are gonna end up with some really deep colors. So I am very, very excited. And I will come back and show you the finished roving when it is dry. Here is Tanya's finished roving. Check out these deep colors. I mean, this is almost a black right here. And that is not something that I ever get with food coloring. We go from really dark to then a bright purple. We've got a bunch of grays that have gone through from a mixture, I think, of the navy and the gray diffusing out, and even, I'm not even sure what that color is. It looks like a mixture of the bright pink and some navy. I think that these deep, deep, deep saturated colors are awesome, and it's something that I just have not been able to achieve with food coloring. So I am really, really excited about using these Rit dyes. And for all my concern about how long, it takes for the dye to absorb, the roving is really like fluffy and totally, totally spinnable. Tanya, thank you so much for sponsoring this episode of Dyepot Weekly. I hope that you love your roving as much as I do. It's taking a lot of self-control to not just bring this to the spinning wheel and to see what I would create out of it. If you want to see more videos like this, make sure that you subscribe to the Chemknits Tutorials YouTube channel. I am Rebecca from Chemknits, and thank you for watching this video.